Om Shanti. Welcome, everybody. So tonight's class is what's behind the wardrobe, what's coming next. This is a red hot experience for me, so I thought I like to give my red hot experiences. So, and what happens after you've got rid of all these smelly old clothes you don't need to wear, and they come up in your dreams, they'll come up in your thoughts during the day, they'll come up anytime, because when you have the field, as I said, that's the main thing. Always work from your field of abundance, the field of love and joy. And when now you've got the human and the mind is your best friend, so they're all on board. So in your whole field. So when you see something that the mind has brought you from the wardrobe, you have to say, oh, well, that's pretty amazing. Do we need to wear those clothes anymore? And it might have been something when you're a little kid that you've been affecting you in your whole life, So, and this curiosity, that's the key. So you just say, oh, I'm very curious about that. So you're not judging it. You're just curious. Oh, where did that come from? And then you're showing, say, hey, soul, you can take that. We don't need to wear those clothes anymore. And you'll gradually become free. And all your clothes that's affecting you, it means all your internal stuff that you've kept for many, many births you're not even aware of, you're in your wardrobe, and you don't have to worry about what's not shown to you, because that's the soul's job, is to wisdomize all your past experiences. So you don't have to worry about your past life, because they're already being wisdomized by themselves. They're doing it all by themselves. All your past lives are already there. So everything exists. All your past lives always exist. So they're always there. So they're doing their own stuff. So soul will help them becoming free from their wardrobes as well. But our wardrobe is, say, this birth, from when the time you were born. You could have even had a trauma when you were being born. And sometimes people have traumas when they're born. So, and that's sitting there and affected me for the rest of my life so far, but you're not aware of it. So the mind might bring that up, and you think, wow, that's amazing. So you're speaking to the soul and also to the mind. So thank you. I can see it. Do we need to wear those clothes? Do we need to have them hanging in the wardrobe? So you say, no, we just talk with your field. Say, do you think we need, your master self, your light body, your new light body and that. So, and they will all agree, no, we don't need those clothes. So you just hand them back. I just chuck them over to the soul like that, So then it's not that you have to work to find them. You don't bother looking. You don't search around for everything. Things will come to you, maybe in your sleep. I had a very special experience the other night in my dream, because I wake up sometimes 2 in the morning or something like that, or just before I'm in a dream state. And then something will come to me. So the mind would have brought, so something happened to me when I was 18, and all this came in front of me, and it was quite amazing actually, but it was like a good time, like I may have turned it in. It had affected me for my life, rest of my life. So, and now I can sort of, it comes to me, and all that energy is now gone, so just being wisdomized. So, and then when I left that scene, then suddenly I found I was on this journey. First I was in a car on this narrow road and we were driving, and then this person came and was sitting beside me. I picked him up, I'd stopped for a break, and this person came to me. So anyway, we become buddies. So, and we were traveling all the way up. It was just on this narrow road, and some people were digging their way out. It was like an afterlife experience, It was like, after that, it's like reaching the end on the road, You ever heard some people's after, near death experiences? It's sort of like that. But it was like we're going traveling, and we were talking, and then it wasn't until after I'd finished it that when we parted, but then we didn't really part. That was actually me in my past, and I really enjoyed being with me. It was quite interesting actually. And so we were parted. So he'd reached the end of his path. We didn't have any further. So that means my past is finished. So I'd finished my past, and I'm free, So, and now that past that was there has been wisdomized. So it's with me, We had a lot of fun together, driving and driving all the way up till we couldn't drive any further. That was the end of the path, you know. But what it meant was we had now become one. So that was a beautiful experience, that one. So, and then I realized it wasn't until after, and I was chewing it down, I was thinking about it, and I thought, oh yeah, that's me actually. It was actually me sitting with me, you know. It's like a double me, you know. It's like my one life and another life, and then we became one life, you know. So it reached the end of his path. I reached the end of my path. And so that was, now we're ready for our new journey, you know, together. So we're not doing, won't be any more karma or anything like that. Nothing like that. All that finishes. See, once you clean your wardrobe out, and that's what the wardrobe's about, is you're not searching for anything. You're not fixing anything. You're not going to heal anything. Just whatever comes to you, that's what's just for you to look at. Oh, say, oh, that's pretty amazing. I'm very curious about that. Do we need to keep wearing these old clothes? And you can ask the soul and your light body, and they will decide, you know, the human is there as well. Because all the experiences come through the human, you see. So that's what the human's for. And sometimes the experiences affect the human, you know, but that's through the mind, because the body doesn't have to experience anything. So that's the wonderful thing. And and that's what it is. So once we come free from all of that, we're free just to be me, you know. So not judging anything. Don't worry about your clothes. Eventually, that soon you'll go to look at your wardrobe, and this is my experience today. I had a real big shiver. You know, when you have a shiver, sometimes it's like, oh, that's when the human. That means your mind's not involved. It happens before your mind's thinking. You see, the idea of feelings happen before mind. Like you have an emotion, after you have an emotion, then the thoughts come. You'll notice they get angry, and then after you think, oh, I shouldn't have really done that. You know, that's you're getting angry. Emotions happen through feelings. You know, so that's why, and it's just why that our aim now at the moment is to get out of our mind. It means you can't get out of your mind, because the mind and now the human are part of your field. But what we're doing is we have to make the mind our friend. So it's not going to be making you think 1,000 times every day, you know, unless you want to, you see. If you want to become free, in the sense, you have to make your mind your very best friend and welcome into the field, and with love and good wishes, you know. So if you hate your mind, if you hate the human, all your aches and pains or anything going wrong, then they won't be in your field very nicely, you know, so they won't change much. And that's why it's a field of love. You know, when you love yourself, it means all of these things you love about yourself. You can only love yourself, and you can't make anyone else love you, isn't it? So you can't make anyone else happy. You can only make yourself happy. If you tried to make someone else happy, that you give them something they don't like, they won't become happy. They'll say, "Oh, yeah, thank you very much," you know. But they won't become happy, you know. But this is what the wardrobe's about: is taking away all the influences of anything that's affecting me in any way that I'm not aware of. Like we have all this knowledge now, while we're sitting here in this very moment. That's called soul presence. I'm in this very moment. I'm present. I'm very aware, because that's awareness is my I am that I am. That's my God self experiencing through the human, see, through the soul, through the light body, and through the human. So the soul doesn't actually talk to us directly, but the light body does, because that's all our past wisdoms, you see, from all our past births. So it can communicate with us in the sense. So our field becomes one, but one with a lot of respect for each and every one of them, you know. And so it's not that we have to beat anyone up, or one's better than the other, or we are just one actually. Still, so the soul and you merge as one. So the human and the soul, like my soul's name is Calibra, but now it's fully merged with me. Like you were saying, you see a difference. So my soul and me, that's still me, you know, but my actually soul is feminine. So it's actually nature is mainly feminine. So and this is a masculine body, so you can see the perfect match. So there's no duality finishes. So when you can accept yourself as you are, And you're not judging anything. You're not trying to fix anything. You're not trying to heal anything. You're just being and observing, That's why the importance of soul presence. And that'll keep us free from anything that's trying to affect you, from other sources outside of you. And you don't have to worry anyway. So long as you're in your own presence, sitting with yourself with that self-respect, who am I? I am an embodied master sitting in this body, and I don't have to make any efforts for that. You can't study, you can't make any efforts to become a master. It happens because that's what you are. We are all masters. There's no one any better than anyone else. In this birth, you're doing what you're doing, and I'm doing what I'm doing. We've gone through all these many, many, many births, and we've all had different experiences. So in this birth, someone might be a surgeon and someone could be a road sweeper, but they're only just having an experience through the body, isn't it? It's not a matter of how much money you made or what your position is. It's all about experience. So and sometimes the more experiences, the more higher the job, the more the stress there is, So imagine the stress of a surgeon if he makes a mistake, he gets sued, or he happens to chop off the wrong leg or something, whatever. So and then there's a $10 million lawsuit against him or something. But now's the time that when we're going into the wardrobe, and today I had an experience. I said, where is the wardrobe? It's in my bedroom, isn't it? So usually the wardrobe's in your bedroom, isn't it? You don't go into someone else's room to get your wardrobe. Normally that is. I'm sure there is cases. If there might be only one wardrobe in a big household load, maybe 3 bedrooms, who knows? But in this case, the wardrobe's in my room, and I was thinking, okay, if I'm standing in my room, where's my wardrobe? And suddenly the wardrobe disappeared because I don't need it. I've cleared my wardrobe, you see. That's why that driving on that roadway up to on that path came to an end. So now, and then I had this amazing shiver that came across me, and I thought, yeah, that's it. That's when the soul has recognized, the body's recognized before the mind, you see. So the mind is just agreeing, so it just has to agree. So you come to the end. So that's the end. So now I'm living as an enlightened master in this body. So you don't have to do anything right. You don't do anything wrong. And that's one thing we've got to understand. We're only having experiences. So you can see how beautiful, how important going through wardrobe is, but only observing. If you see some smelly old clothes right in the back corner, it might come to you in the dream, not necessarily while you're just sitting observing. Because you can't stay in a wardrobe all day. So you only go in to get your clothes. But in the end, there's no clothes left. So what are clothes? Clothes is who you are, isn't it? So you're going to wear the clothes that suit you. That means your intentions are you, and that's who you are. So you just wear what suits you. You have to please anybody. No one cares anyway. So you have to worry about anyone else because no one else cares, because they got their own life to live. And I've got mine. So they don't worry about what I'm doing because they're too busy doing what they're doing. And so first there's only you and your wardrobe. So and your soul is there, and your mind and the human and the new light body is there. And together you're cleansing the soul without making any effort. You don't have to go hunting. That's not your job anymore. Your job is only to observe. That's it. And watch things happen for you. You don't have to make any efforts anymore. It's all finished. You just sit back with your feet up, have a cup of coffee and a cream cake and just enjoy life because you cannot make effort now to finish this part. I used to think I studied every little thing I studied, day and night, and get up early in the morning and study Aviak Murlis and other Murlis and do 2 or 3 Murlis a day and all sorts of things. But in the end, that gave me a foundation. But in the end, you don't need anything. All that study is just your foundation. All the rest you have to let go. It's like cleansing that wardrobe of everything that's there, and you don't have to go looking for anything. As I said, in this lifetime, something will be sitting there that's affecting your life. maybe someone when you were going to school beat you up or something, or some bully or anything, or you might have been the bully. So the whole thing is, but all this stuff is sitting there affecting me today. So, and you're just allowing it to let it go. Say, hey, what about this field? What do you reckon? We still need these old clothes sitting in here, and say you can either talk about it and just say, no, we don't need that now. Just check it out. So you give it to the soul to wisdomize it. You don't lose it in a sense, so it's not going to affect you anymore. So it becomes part of your wisdom. So that's your light body. There's not a single experience that you've ever had in millions of lives, whatever, thousands or whatever, hundreds. But the whole thing is, it doesn't matter. You never lose a single experience. It's always there in the soul. But now we want it so that it doesn't affect us. It becomes our wisdom. So you can understand that now is the time of humanity. It's not for everyone. It's only for those who want to have that. Because a lot of people, the bells won't ring at all, so they'll be just there and they'll say, oh, I can't picture that, it's too much for me. So, and it might be another 500 births, might be a million years down the road before you get to it again. Who knows? It's got nothing to do with me. It's only about you. The whole thing is all about you, and you cannot do anything wrong. So you've got to understand, you cannot do anything wrong. You say, what about Mr. Trump? He's not doing anything wrong. He's playing his role perfectly, because he has to get everyone off their little perch, of so good, I'm so good, and all this sort of stuff. Even if he thinks he's so good. Yeah, but the whole thing, he's playing his role perfectly. And his wardrobe's absolutely full, so he can wear anything he likes and please people, But that's what we're here now, is to become free from all this trying to reveal myself through all my flash clothes or what I think I am. I'm, a millionaire or whatever. I've got this and I've got that and I'm so good. All these things, and what's stopping me from my wardrobe being not there anymore. When the wardrobe's gone, today I experienced it. When the wardrobe is actually, there's only a wall there, you're already wearing the clothes you need and you can change them anytime, because your wardrobe's now finished and it's not affecting you at all. So your past, anything of this lifetime is now not affecting you, That's when you're free. That's true freedom, So you still have to live in the world and eat and drink and do things, go for a walk. Even if it's raining, you can still go for a walk, isn't it? So it's just an experience. So whether you get wet or whether you have an umbrella or whatever, it's just an experience. Although you wouldn't have an umbrella today, get blown away. So and that's just an experience again, isn't it? So, and that's what's happening at this time. So now we've got to go through into the new experience of going beyond the wall, going beyond this wardrobe. And once you've wardrobe, then you experience what's left is in your wardrobe is only yourself. It's only you. And what do you experience? You'll find this only thing that's there for you is the hum that you'll hear. It's the whole residence that you are, your whole field has a hum, it's like an energy. So you might just hear that hum. I have it all the time in the middle of my head, it's like, it's not ringing ears, it's a hum. And that's who you really are. You are this hum that's humming, So, and that's all that's left. You've completed everything. You've got rid of everything that's affecting you. So you're not performing. You're what we call karmatik. You're beyond the effect of karma, of action. If you want to be, you don't have to be. And you're beyond the effect of your family line. So just think your hereditary line, your culture, everything finished. So once we go, a lot of people don't want to let go of that because it's quite a deep thing. But we still can be. You can still be living in that family line and everything, but not caught up in all the dramas and the fields and everything that they have. If you go back far enough in your family line, you'll probably see yourself up there, many births ago. Maybe your great-great-grandmother or grandfather or something, that's who you were, And it's not that far away. So, and we keep taking birth back into the same family line, over and over. And that's why we know all the funny jokes in the family, and you already know your uncle and auntie and everything. When a baby's born, if they're happy because they can see everyone they recognise, babies already recognised everyone in their family because they're just born in the same family line. But a baby's born into a different family line for some reason, maybe something they've done or whatever, they've chosen to go there for some reason, then the baby's really scared because it doesn't know anybody. Everything's brand new for them. Might be a different country, different faces, everything's different. So nothing there. So they're very sort of scared, So they wonder what they're doing there. So that's why different babies react differently. And and some babies are really, it could be their grandmother's just taking rebirth, to the granddaughter. That's normally how it works, like that. And so it's really understanding that when I'm free from all these clothes hanging in my wardrobe, it's like you can just sit quietly and you can just picture in my wardrobe, just open the door and say, okay, I'm looking in the wardrobe. I'm in my bedroom first, so I'm looking in the wardrobe. What should I wear today? So you're just looking, not judging anything, not specifically looking at anything, but this is what's in my wardrobe that I think I need to wear that's going to make someone happy, right? Do you need those clothes? You could say, okay, I think I need to wear those sort of clothes to make people happy. That means put on this sort of face, and it's not only your clothes, but it's your face and everything. It's your personality traits. So do I need that particular form to make people happy? Or am I fooling myself? So then you can talk with your soul and with the light body and the human, and then the field can decide, oh yeah, I don't think we really need that now. So then the soul will take it and wisdomize it. So it just becomes part of your personality traits. So you just look in the wardrobe. Do I have to please anybody? What clothes do I wear to please people? Do I have to make people happy and dance and sing or whatever? Try and please people. Is that a good set of clothes to wear? Do I need to do that? And then you can talk with your field. You become curious. So you just ask, do I really need to wear those things? Then that's curious. So curious means it's a way through. So you're giving it to your field to look at and say, do we need to wear those clothes? Say yes or no. It might say yes. So I'm very attached to those clothes. I need to please everybody. If I don't please everybody, no one's going to like me. That's what we're thinking. That's the mind coming into it. So what we do, we talk about it with the field, and you feel, you don't think, you feel, do I need, see, the thing is when you start thinking, that's the mind. And the mind now is becoming part of our field. So the mind's going to show us, that's all. We don't have to go looking for it. The mind will pull it up and you'll look at it, but you'll be curious. Oh, thank you, mind, for pulling that up. Do I really need that particular set of clothes, that particular set of face, all my makeup, all my eyelashes done nicely, whatever, whatever the field is? Do I need to make myself like Superman or whatever it is? So the whole thing is then you can decide, oh no, we don't need that anymore. It's too much hard work. Okay, let's get rid of it. Because you can't make anyone happy. Have you tried making anyone happy? It's like, just doesn't work. It might be okay for 1 minute, but not lasting happiness. It's like sometimes you can buy a new car and the first scratch, oh my God, there's $5,000 off the value of the car. Yeah, so and it's like that. So, and that's another thing that you could say is hanging in the wardrobe, set of clothes. Like that's my need for something, but you can still have all good things, but you don't need anything, isn't it? You can enjoy everything, but don't need anything to make you happy, but you can enjoy everything. Say, oh, this is cool, you know, and it's how it is. So we're looking at it that way. And so you can just look silently into your wardrobe, and then just feel whatever the mind brings up. So you just breathe and you don't observe. Like we always say, you become soul present and soul presence. So you're present, you're not in the future, you're not in the past, you're just there observing. That's the key to everything in life, actually. You'll sort out everything in your life just by doing that, by taking the breath and then allowing things to come. So it's going to come up, whatever it is. You might be even aware of the one thing that's affecting you in your life. Just allow it to come up. Say, oh, okay. There's no right and no wrong. It's just an experience. No matter what it is, people might think, oh, it's really bad. My God. If they find out, I'm going to get locked up in jail. But no one's going to find out. It's your soul that's purifying and cleansing your wardrobe for you, which is just your personality traits, and the mind becomes free. And then you become free from waste thoughts and thinking and all sorts of things, what we call waste thoughts, but there's no waste thoughts. That's just something that I'm enjoying. And if you're still enjoying waste thoughts, you just keep having them. That's what people don't realize, It's like sickness. If you enjoy some sickness because someone's giving you love and looking after you, you'll keep getting sick because you enjoy getting something from it, or you might get a day off work. And so people have sick days, Oh, I'm going to have a sick day soon. I mean, I've got 10 of them a year or whatever it is. So they get sick at least 10 times a year, or pretend they're sick. And then it becomes a sickness, So, yeah, so it's just these are the guys. So that's the main thing. You don't have to keep being in the wardrobe all the time. It's not a thing you have to be. It's just like understand whatever's coming in my mind is coming from my wardrobe. And then you say, oh, if you don't like it, that's when you get your field involved, because the more you can be present in your field, these things are going to come up. So Baba said, once you become soul conscious, then all Maya attacks, But what is Maya? It's just my own experiences. So Baba gives it a different name, Maya, Raman, and that. But it's actually not bad. The thing is, they're going to become your friends. They're going to become your wisdom. All your waste thoughts, negative traits, all sorts of things will become your friend because they'll become your wisdom. So once you say, "Oh, I don't need that," hey Phil, do you think you need that anymore? So, and that's what you say. You become curious as the doorway out. So when you're curious, so you've seen it, you observe it, you don't need it, then you can let it go. But if you don't become curious about it, so mind has brought something up to you, look at it and you say, oh, that's nothing, What am I worrying about that for, Do we need this field? No. So off it goes. Soul wisdomizes it back into your wisdom. So it's still there, but it won't have any energy and it won't come up again. Some people on Saturday or Sunday morning it was, so we're asking the questions about the wardrobe and does it ever come back again? And I thought, well, it's amazing, you should try it and see. So they might hear it, but they don't try it, But the thing is, if you just understand, you don't have to do anything. That's the hard thing for people because as I said, most of my life as a BK, I've been studying hard, working hard, and doing everything hard, But all that's gone, finished. You don't.
These days, when we sit in a presence, or you can say that it comes like when you're working or you're doing something past come out.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, that we enjoy the bad thoughts, start enjoying. Then I ask myself, oh, what I'm doing? Like I'm asking myself the question.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
disappear.
Yeah, that's
Because
curiosity.
Curiosity, that's happening.
Yeah, that's right. So you just allow.
The right track, like
Yeah.
talking to yourself, like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that part.
Yeah, well,
Useful.
it's the mind talking to you, say, look, this is still what you're enjoying, or this is still what you got there. And then once you understand, you can know how to get rid of it by having curiosity. They're saying, oh, I don't think I need that anymore. I can let it go, And there's nothing right and nothing wrong. You got to remember, you've never done anything right and you've never done anything wrong. There's only experiencing. So it doesn't matter how bad you think you've been, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's just an experience, If you knew what I did when I was young, then you think,
But
wow,
until you
amazing.
don't try, it's not going to work. But you have to be present.
Yeah, all it is being present, that's all, and observing and let everything else happen. You don't have to do anything else but be present. Soul's going to look after everything. That's its job. My job is just be present and be happy, just allow things. and understand I've never done anything right. I've never done anything wrong. I'm not making mistakes. I'm just doing what I understand is right and what is wrong, or whatever. But you're just doing according to your state of presence. I'm in my presence and I have a resonance around me, So I'm radiating this resonance around me, and this room is a soul presence room, because I'm soul presence, and people come here and we sit in soul presence. And even though you're on Zoom, still this room is part of your soul presence, doesn't matter where you are. So you can be anywhere in the world, still link in here, you see, at any time. Because there's no limits to being soul presence. You're not limited to anything. You're not limited to the body. You're not limited to this world. You're not limited to anything. You are just you in your presence, understanding that my field is here, but I'm not limited to 3D anymore. I can go to many different dimensions. And that's what we do in our sleep. We're not stuck in one third dimension here. We travel all over the place. We probably have about 10 different other bodies around in different dimensions that we're not aware of, you see. But once you become soul present, then you're not limited to just one dimension, like we are here, 3D, so many, many different dimensions. But because it's so confusing to the mind makes up all these crazy stories, be chased around by a dragon or something like that. But it's whatever it is. But that's because the mind can't comprehend. There's nothing in this world because it's 3D, But once it becomes part of your field, it can become quiet, So it can just observe with you. So that's where the soul, that's where all your wisdom with your new light body, that energy. Because first you got to understand that I am is awareness. And the first thing, once it's aware, it creates energy, not power, energy. So yourself, that's you, are your own master God, created energy. And energy is communication. That's all energy is. When we're using with all sorts of energy, is not through communication. And that's how your I am, the awareness of yourself, is communicating through energy, through the soul, through the body and the mind, you see. So it's having an experience through here. But it hasn't been able to do that till now, till you realize that once you're in your soul presence, and that means you're all in order, with soul, with the human is your field, actually, because you need a body. Everything needs a human to experience 3D, right? That's what we're here for, to experience 3D, and all sorts of things you can experience in 3D. And we'll be totally frizzled, our mind, when we first came as a baby. You're wondering what's going on, So you're coming out and you have to be taught everything. And and that's why new babies born, especially now, they already come pre-programmed, They're very smart. Not all of them, but a lot of them. People that are sort of spiritually inclined, you find the babies are quite already pre-programmed for the next upcoming world,
They say why we need to go to school.
Yeah, that's why
we don't need to read and write. AI is doing for us.
Yeah. Well, that's what the new world's about. It's going to be a whole new world in another 6 or 7 years. You'll be looking back. You won't even be able to look back at this world because it's so ancient but it's such a special time to be in, I mean, I've been 75 years in this world, and what I've gone through. I mean, we didn't have TV till I was 15, so we were just riding our bikes around, and we didn't even have to study. We only went to school to eat our lunch basically and play games. So we had nothing, and of course, I mean, some people's mothers made them study and everything, but we had a whole heap of kids in our family, so we didn't, and we're on a farm, so we're from a farming breed. So, but that's how we were brought up, without a worry in the world. It was like as I had 4 other brothers, we were just walking around the farm and having fun, eating turnips and carrots and whatever was in the ground. We didn't have a shop for miles, so and but that's how we were brought up, and there's no right and no wrong, is it? So we were free, and my mother was so free. She says, "Oh, just go to school and enjoy yourself. You have to study that hard. It's good if you do, but it's okay if you don't." So we were really free, you see. So I was born into that freedom. Like, there was a whole big family, and she was too busy working because they were all the workers and everything on the farm. We had to look after those. But I mean, it was when I look back, I'm thinking, wow, what a lifetime, you know. But I was virtually blind at that. When I was a young kid, I used to just follow my brothers around. They didn't know how blind I was, you know, until one day a nurse came around at school and found out how blind I was. So then when I got glasses, I could see, oh my God, look at all this stuff. I couldn't, like, the neighbours were just down the road, but I used to see just a blur, you know. If I didn't realise that, I thought that's what everyone could see, you know. You don't know any different because I just followed my brothers around. But then, so after that, then you could see the blackboard at work, at school even, you know, so. So, but that's that was. And there's no right and no wrong. We were born there for a reason, you know, so. And you have to be born with a lot of humility, you know, because my role in this lifetime was after 33. I used to get a voice in my mind, you know. After 33, you have a special role, you know. So, and that's when I came to this BKs, you know, the Brahma Kumaris. But I got that when I was about 12. Voice came in my head. So it's when you're 33, you'll have an experience greater than what Jesus Christ had, you know, just the same like that. You'll go to a good consciousness, you know. So, but it was all hard work. My life was a life of hard work all the way through, you know, physically. About 1,000 accidents because I wouldn't let go of things, you know. What happens if you keep hanging on to something? The soul say, let go, and then it's okay, I'll help you. Then you'll crash and fall over and trip over something, hurt your shoulder, and you have to let go of that. So that was me. So, but it still had a lot of fun, you know. So, but I always enjoyed. But I was quite a serious person, you know. So the whole thing, you're born up because you're trying to make efforts to achieve everything and keep your family happy and whatever. So, but that was a programming, you know, from my past births. But now is a new programming, and this is even more new programming. This is beyond the beyond because there's not many BKs would be fully understanding this sort of program. What we're doing now, none. It's just too much. Yeah, so they just can't handle it because it's becoming free. You know, how can you become a master or a deity soul if you don't let go of everything and be the master, the true master of yourself? And that's what it's about. A lot of people can't handle. They think, oh, you got to have karma. You're a sinful soul and all that sort of thing. We're just a soul. A soul is light, energy, and it can be corrupted and it can be pure and it can be very degraded. But now we understand that once you actually have this, how to clear your wardrobe, you're free from all the corruption. It's not corruption, it's just wisdom. Everything you've ever experienced is just wisdom. And it's for you to experience, you know, that beautiful wisdom in your life. So when you see things, you're not going to make the same mistake again because you have that wisdom. You'll say, oh, I can see what they're doing, you know, and you become free from that, you know. So I can see it all the time in the BKs around, you know, you're looking, and not that you're judging anybody, you can see what they're doing, but you know, that's their journey. You're not change. I don't try and change a single person. I've only know that my journey is for me and I can give my experiences. If you don't believe in it, that's cool. You know, if you do, you do. And it's maybe I can shed a bit of light for somebody. And that's all you can do. Can you help anybody? They can only help themselves, isn't it? You're not going to change anybody and make them into a BK, you know. No one does that. No one can do that. They already are one. So you know, and the thing is, every BK is different, and every human being on this earth is different. We're not a whole pack of penguins, so yeah. So it's the same, and it's just good to sit in soul presence, and like we have, like with this Sunday, will be soul presence group again, and it's just like because we've been through the soul presence when we first started to where we are today. I mean, it's like a whole new lifetime, really. If you've been through the journey and put into practice what I've been teaching, you would be a totally different person. You'd be free from all the stress, worries, and tensions of this world. It's not to say you're not going to have any, but you can just, as Baba said, you just become a problem solver. See, problems will just come, but then you finish them off. Problems have to come, otherwise there's no point to life, you know. So a problem like, what will I have for Borgen tonight? That's a pretty big problem. For some people, sometimes I'm planning to have something, but by the time the time comes around, because you live by yourself, oh, I'm not going to have that. That's too much cooking. I'll just have something easy, you know, some soup or something. Yeah. But anyway, then you wake up in the middle of the night, you wonder why you're hungry, you know. But that's just part of the game. It's just a game. I know what you do everything with understanding, you know. So, and usually we wake up in the middle of the night because the body's used up all the sugar, because people don't eat sugar, you see. But they don't realize you have a little bit of sugar when you wake up in the middle of the night, and 5 minutes you're back to sleep again, because that's all the body's looking for is a little bit of sugar. Not half a cake of chocolate or anything, but just a little bit. Like one told you or something. Yeah, so but life is, but once you learn to understand the whole cycle, and when you wake up, half the night I'm always awake because I don't need to, I'm full of energy, you know. Sometimes I don't go to sleep till 1 and I'm getting up at 3, you know. So the whole thing is like I only needed 2 hours because I'm not doing anything like before, running around on the roof, although I did the other day on the cleaning out some gutters and stuff. But the whole thing is it's like then there's no need for that anymore, you know. Now I have to stop that, I know, because I can get someone else to do it, and that's my role, is not to stop all that, you know, because now I have to, because if I fall off the roof, that's it, you know, because the body's getting a bit older, you have to understand. But I'm not listening again, so you have to watch out. So I have to learn to get someone else to do things. So, but it's just how it is, you know. It's just and you don't realize, because I was up there cleaning the gutters out the other day, and I had lots of aches and pains after my legs because standing on the ladder, and you think, my God. So then I had a chat to my body, because I know that the body's not supposed to feel any pain, and nor is the mind. These two things, they can operate on your brain, and they don't even need to give you anesthetic. It doesn't feel anything, you know. And they can operate on your body. They just stop your brain, don't they? Stop the feelings. So the body doesn't feel anything actually. So the mind, or the brain, and the human don't have any feelings. But all these aches and pains are there. You think, my God, and sicknesses and everything. So I had a chat. This is what happened to me the other day, and I had a chat to my mind and body. So I said, look, you're in my field now, and I've got all these aches and pains. I don't need them, you know. I know you're making them up. I don't need them, you know. So I was talking to them, and you know, they all went away. Yeah. So you had, but I had to speak with it like a nice authority that they're in the field, and the field does not need pains and aches. So we want them to go. And when I stood up, it was all gone, just quickly like that. See, because the body is not supposed to have any aches and pains. And same with the mind, shouldn't have any problems. But because we think we're controlling everything, but now you bring them into your field, they are your field, you know, and you could talk to them, say, hey, look, human and mind, look, I'm experiencing all these aches and pains, and now I want you to, if I want them gone, I don't want them. Understand? You know, so you're talking like that. Not with such authority that you give them a hard time. Not like me. I'm an old project manager. So I know sometimes I talk a bit hard. But so I have to quiet down and say, look, I know you're in the field now, and I love you very much, and we don't want aches and pains in our field, thanks. So you talk to the human like that, and the mind, because they work together. There's no reason for you to have aches and pains or sicknesses. It's only because you want them, isn't it? When you like them, because someone's going to love you because you're sick, or looking at, there's a reason why you're sick, because you need something from that sickness. Otherwise, there's no need for it. Because we think we have to make our body well, you know, we have to take all these drugs and medications and tablets and things. I mean, I was the worst person at taking all these vitamins and minerals and everything, spend $1 million on those. But the whole thing is, the body says, oh, how's it going for you? Say, oh, well, you know, it'll just let you do whatever you want. But the body has everything in it to heal itself. Wonderful thing, you know. You don't need to take a single thing. And when you start, like I used to take, you know, like this fresh purified water and everything. And then And I thought, that's stupid, you know. So I stopped. I just drink water out of the tap, and it didn't make a single difference. You know, I spent all this money on water and all this sort of stuff, filters and God knows what, but it doesn't make any difference. Body can handle anything that you put inside it. I don't know about arsenic or poison or something, I'm not sure. But if you had that full faith, there are religions, you know, I remember they drink arsenic. And yeah, they believe God's going to protect them, you know. This they believe so much that they drink this little glass of arsenic and they can drink it. It would kill most people instantly, but they all survive. They believe so strongly and the body protects them. I don't think I'll be joining that religion any soon, but that's what people believe, you know, and they don't die, they don't get killed, they just believe in that. So it just shows you from our culture, you got your DNA, everything come from your grandparents, your grandmother, grandfather. So, oh, my mother had cancer, my father did a great matter, all that comes through your DNA. If you believe that, that's what you're going to have. You see, you expect it. But you say, no, you're in my field now. We're a field. Now we're having our own field. We're not having nothing to do with our DNA from my father and my mother and my grandmother and whatever. Whatever sicknesses they have, I'm not having it. We don't want it here, thank you. So stop it. And you have to, and when you say to stop it, you expect it to stop. You don't ask, will it stop? Will it won't? No, yes, whatever. You speak with that authority that stop it and expect it to stop. That's how you do it. And that's the new way of looking at it. So when I spoke to my body and my soul, I says, I expect it to be stopped immediately, if not sooner. And it just disappeared, just like that. I was so achy, my legs were so achy from running, hands walking up down on the ladder and everything. You don't realize how weak your muscles will diminish, you know, after you get, but they're not actually supposed to do that. It's only because we think, oh, I'm this age and this is what's supposed to happen to you. So you believe it. They're feeding you all this, but a lot of people, that's what happens to most people, you know, except in some areas, maybe where they live 120 or 100 or something in the blue areas. So, and they live healthy, you know, and they're drinking and smoking and right through to 120, you know, so looking healthy and everything. So it's not about what you eat and drink. So people don't realize it's nothing to do what you eat and drink. It's all about what your DNA is, your belief systems, and whatever you're eating also helps in the sense of feeding whatever the body needs, but actually the body has everything in it. Well, time flies and blow flies, isn't it? So that's about the wardrobe. We're getting through the wardrobe, but the main thing is understanding the wardrobe is you. And that's everything in your wardrobe is what's affecting you that you're not aware of. So the idea is to gradually empty that wardrobe out. But you don't have to look for anything. That's the soul's job. You just open the door, look in, and if you get to see something, just say, oh, that's interesting. I got that. Okay. We don't need that, do we, soul? You know, so, and you just release it to the soul, just check it over your shoulder if you want, or just drop it on the floor. That's just as long as it's gone, you know, you're just releasing it. But you're not releasing it with fear or anything. You look at it, you observe it, say, oh, I can remember that when I was 10 or 5 or whatever. So all these things.
Scene.
Hey?
It comes like a full scene when you even know the age of your self.
Yeah.
Remember the clothes you're wearing.
Yeah, because it's a proper video of it. Yeah.
Comes, and then you ask yourself, why this comes? Like you curiosity makes it easy. Why it comes?
Yeah. That's it.
I don't know.
Your curiosity is what you've accepted it. You say, oh, I didn't realize I had that. Now I'm letting it go. So, and you ask the field, of course, and the field, yeah, we don't need that. Out it goes. It gets wisdomized. You know, it's still there, but it's in your wisdom. So you never lose anything, no matter if you're around murdering people. But still, you know, you can wisdomize that too. That at least you go around next time, you're not going to go around murdering people because you get hung or whatever. It's yourself. It's your turn. Next birth will be your turn to get murdered, you know. But now we're free from all that. So we have to be free from all of those things. Right. So this is when we've finished everything, what I experienced is in my head, I've got this hum, but I didn't know what it was. It's not tinny or whatever they call it in your ears. It's not like that. It's inside your head as a hum in the soul. But that's what we are. We are humming. Every one of us has a sound with us. So when we're free and there's nothing else left, all that's left is this beautiful hum. Well, it's in your head and you think, it doesn't disturb you, but it's there. That's your field resonance. So you're just radiating this beautiful hum. And you're able to listen to it now because the mind isn't affecting you with all these thoughts. Yeah, so, and that's what it's about is, and there's no hurry. You're not in a hurry to do all these things. You have to do it all today or tomorrow or the next day. You just do, and things will come to you in their time when you're ready. If you don't want to let anything go, you don't have to let it go. You can hang on to whatever is disturbing you if you want. No one's forcing anybody to do anything. It's all about you in your world, which you created. We've all created our own worlds, living in, and it's just in this birth only. Next birth, who knows what we're going to be? This might be my last birth on this earth. I'd like to have one more in the new world, but but you don't have to be. You don't have to be. So you can get. People don't believe you can get off this cycle that we believe in. You see, it's just a belief cycle. It's a belief system, and we've been programmed by what we learned. But when you get off free from that, you're not a cycle. You're not in cycle. You are your own master, your own living God, because I am is the God that creates through the human. So, and when we are in that nice consciousness, you're free from everything. But everything you've done up to now is your foundation, you know. And who knows what we did in our past births? We don't know, do we? We might think, oh, that person's done nothing in this birth, but he did all his hard work in past births, you see. Now he's just coming to become free, living his own life. So don't judge yourself because someone's been in Raj Yoga for 50 years or some for 10, or, he's better than I am and all that sort of stuff. We have to get rid of that stuff. No one knows. And it's not for us to know in that sense, is it? So who cares? So we just think we spent lifetimes fitting out our wardrobe. Been to war, arrows in the front, arrows in the back, everywhere, sword across the head, everything, you name it. So we've been at wars, we've been, having children, we've been both male and female, we've been here, there. You can imagine what we've been through over the last thousands of years. So all those are experiences. And some lifetimes we didn't have any much experience at all. So there's not much in that lifetime for the soul to absorb. It's because it wasn't all bad every birth, we had some good lifetimes. So, and it's like, but generally speaking, if we just keep going to war and killing each other, like say in the Middle East, I mean, killing each other for thousands of years, even throwing stones at each other, that you can see the two different religions, but they're actually brothers. They come from the same religion, but they've been fighting each other for thousands of years. So you can imagine how deep and the hatred is, even in the children born, so they can't help. They listen to the mum and dad speaking. When the baby's in the mother's tummy, he's listening to the mother and father and the news and everything's going on. So the baby's affected and everything. That's why it's important when you're having children to make sure that you are in the right, in Hinduism, they understand those things. But what's the name of that brother? One of these little boys in the mother's mum? Anu. No,
Son.
yeah.
Son.
Yeah, but he got trapped. He's only heard half the story, you see. So that's why we have to be careful not to listen to the wrong half, and just listen to the one who knows, So that's cool. That's up to us. It's his experience, you see. It's not that he did a wrong thing or a right thing. It was his birth to have that experience, even though it's just a story. But it's still, it's a story that we can with everyone's experience. That's why it became a story, you know. So, okay. So we can just sit for a minute. So this is not a wardrobe class, you know, it's just an experience. So I'm not here to change anybody. So it's just to realize what we can do for ourselves through our own simplicity of doing nothing. But no one's doing nothing in the sense that just observing. The human cannot become perfect. Soul can become pure again, but the one that's always pure and perfect is the I am, the consciousness. It doesn't have any form, you know. Soul has a form of light, but the consciousness, the I am, the awareness, it doesn't have a form that we can see. We can't even comprehend what it is, you know, but it just exists. It just is. So that's who we are, you know. That's our real self. But it's waiting for us to be allowing it to experience through the human. So it wants to know what an ice cream tastes like, what a cup of chai tastes like, what it's like to go round and round in a merry-go-round. All these things it's coming to experience. What is the sunset like? You know, that's who I really am. That's why originally it was just I am in the field, left the father's home. He was just sitting there. And one day I realized, oh, I exist. Could be 20 million years sitting there. We don't know. There's no time, is it? So, until we had that awareness. And then a lot of others had that awareness waking up. But they didn't suddenly become human beings. They were angels first in the angel form. That's why they have the story of the angels and their wars. They used to join together, similar ideas and things like that. So anyway, that's another story altogether. That's in your wardrobe. All that's in your wardrobe, stuck there. But the whole thing is we don't have to worry about those things. That's the soul's job. And then the I am is just letting go. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to, am I going to be ready? Ready for what? You're always ready. So you're never not ready. So, and once you're in the soul presence, you don't have to worry about a single thing what's going on in the world. Okay, we have a bit of fun by listening to the news and hearing Mr. Donald Trump talking, whatever. But the whole thing is, it's just like a fun game. It's just a huge play. It's like the story of Krishnas, you know, and all these stories of the Mahabharata war and stuff. You can see that going on in the world now, but it's so beautifully put. And when you understand that I am, and I'm experiencing everything through this world, through this body in this world today, you think, wow, this is amazing. So just imagine to be alive now is incredible. We've chosen to be here at this time, to be alive in a human, because it's so amazing. Just think how incredible that we're here, alive and experiencing this world, what's going on in the world today. You don't have to worry about being hungry or something running out of things. That's got nothing to do with us. All we're doing is experiencing through this wonderful human. So, and just enjoying ourselves. Don't forget to laugh, hear a funny joke. There's some funny ones going around at the moment. So just enjoy to laugh and have a bit of fun, you know. Don't be so serious, you know. Although what happens is there's so many few people that you can talk to in the end. That's what you'll find, because not everyone is like you. They think, what do you know? In fact, you can't even listen to a lot of rubbish that's out there. You know, when people talk, it just annoys you more than anything. But a master can also be annoyed. It's just you don't hear that rubbish. You know, get out of my life, sort of thing. But that's okay. Okay, dear souls. So we'll just sit in for a minute in our presence and be in soul presence and just feel the wardrobe, because it's all about the wardrobe tonight. Just feel that you can either open the door and have a look, and whatever's there, you see. And when you're standing in your bedroom, when suddenly the wardrobe disappears, then you know the wardrobe is cleared. So then you'll hear this hum in the center of your head. That is just you, your aura, the whole of your field. Just you might even, and the wardrobe can still be there, and you can still feel the hum because your mind is quietened, because now your mind has become part of your field, and you'll become free from all these thoughts. So then, what replaces your thoughts is you can start to hear yourself. hear your own vibrations, hear your own resonance, just humming. It's beautiful. So just sit and just feel for a minute. Take a breath in, not through effort, just breathe nicely and allow yourself to be in soul presence. You don't have to make any effort. It's just, I am here in soul presence, full stop. You don't have to do 20 press-ups or anything. You just have to be soul presence. I am. And I am. That's it. I'm soul presence. So just experience that. So many things that the wardrobe will free us from. When you see that what's really freeing us from the wardrobe, you're going to be so happy. It's just pure allowing, actually. So nothing to hold, nothing to remove, just this. Whatever comes in front of you, nothing to hold, nothing to remove, just this, and you let it go. What remains is already here. So what remains if the wardrobe's free, empty? You've cleaned it out. What remains is already here. You, isn't it? It's only you, without any clothes, except what you want to wear. So the wardrobe is empty, and I'm still here. That's it. All is within the field. I am that. That's it. All is within the field. I am that. It's not going to take you 20 lifetimes, but it might take you 20 lifetimes to understand I am that when we're ready. But you don't have to make effort. That's the whole thing. My whole life was about effort. So now it's time to let go. Okay. Feeling good? Okay, dear souls. Love you all. Don't forget, love yourself and keep shining that beautiful light. And don't worry too much about your wardrobe. Okay.